Hi everyone, Mr. Lansing here, and in this video today I'm going to teach you how to find the increasing and decreasing intervals of the graphs of polynomial functions. I pulled out a graph directly from a Desmos calculator, and I made sure that the local minimums and local maximums, or relative minimum or relative maximums, are present because we're going to use them as we are going to talk about increasing and decreasing regions of our graph. Okay, so let us then label some of the parts of our x-axis. So from this side of the x-axis up to this x value of 0.423, we noticed that the graph started to dip, started to go down, started to decrease. And from this x value of 0.423 until this x value, which is 1.577, we have noticed that the graph is increasing. It's growing, it's going up. And again, the graph started to dip or go down one more time from 1.577 to all the x values going to the right. Okay, so I made sure that I used two different colors to indicate the x values that the graph is going down. It's yellow in color, and green if the graph is going up. So how are we going to write then our interval for increasing and decreasing regions of our? Let us start with our decreasing intervals. So if we notice, the yellow part of the graph is coming from the left side of the x-axis, and all the values of x at the left side are from negative infinity. So let's start with decreasing this time. So the graph shows a decreasing trend right from the start of negative infinity, and that stops at exactly 0.423. Okay, so this is one of the region that the graph shows decrease. And another region that the graph shows another decrease is from 1.577 as the x value, comma, and it continues to go down in a downward trend as x approaches infinity. And since we have two regions of the graph that shows decrease, we're going to put the union symbol, and the union means we are combining the two regions, and these two regions are the region that shows dip or decrease in our function. On the other hand, we have one region that shows increase, so we have increasing. Okay, so increasing region is happening right from the x value 0.423. Okay, again, since we're looking for the region of the domain that shows increase or decrease, we're going to use the x values. So 0.423, and it stops its growth or increase at x value 1.577. So this is our increasing interval, and we only have one increasing interval in this function. I want you to notice how we used our local minimum and local maximum in creating or finding our intervals for increasing and decreasing parts of the domain. So take note, we normally use the x values of our turning points. Let us go over example number 2, and this time let us take a look closely at which part of the graph is going down and which part of the graph is going up. So one more time, let me remind you, we are supposed to read the graph like a book from left to right and make our interpretation based on the movement of the graph. Okay, so right from left to right, the graph is going down. Okay, let's use yellow color. So the graph is going down up to this x value here, And then right from this x value, the graph is going down again up to this x value. So take note on the parts that the graph is increasing or decreasing. I'm using yellow to show decrease in the graph. So right from this point of x to this x value, the graph is decreasing. So there are two regions that the graph is showing a dip. Okay. Now this time we'll also use another color to signify another change in how the graph behaves. So from this x value here, the graph is increasing and stops to grow up to this x value. So the red now shows another movement, and this is an increase this time. And from this x value, the graph is also growing towards the side of the x-axis. So notice on the colors that we used, these colors will help you understand the increasing and decreasing part or region of your graph. So let us then go back to the yellow part. So our decreasing. Okay, so where did the graph started to go down or to go into a downward trend? At what x value? So the graph shows decrease right from the left side of the x-axis, that's negative infinity, and it stopped going down at x value 0. So we have, okay, it stops going down there, and then the graph started to go down again at x value 1.157. So we have 1.157, and it ended its decrease at x value 2.593. So 2.593. Okay, since there are two regions of the graph showing a dip or showing a decrease, we're going to put a union symbol in between them to signify the two regions. Okay, so this time we're going to take a look closely into the red portion of the graph showing our increase this time. So our increase of the graph, let's start with increasing here. So our increase started at x value 0. So we have 0, and then it stops its growth at x value 1.157. This is one of the regions that shows increase. The other region that shows increase starts from 2.593, and it continues to go up towards positive infinity. Again, this time our increasing trend or increasing interval are in two regions. Okay, so the first region is 0, 1.157, and the second region is from 2.593 until infinity. So make sure that you noticed how we use the x values, the x values of our turning points to write down our increasing and decreasing intervals.